Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, September the 22nd. We are taking off with a group of tanks up the right-hand side. Basically, you want to flare them to eventually get your tanks to where my flare is sitting right there. From there, they'll be able to take out the mortar, and then they'll move up the right-hand side towards the rocket launcher. And if you want to get really fancy, you can throw one shock down, get the rocket launcher and the cannon both with the one shock. And once those defenses are taken out, they'll move into position on the HQ, as you can see, out of range of the sniper towers, and you're going to get yourself a nice easy win. Now, from there, you're going to go to Stage 2, and Stage 2 is actually, I guess it's a little easier. As long as you're rolling tanks and you can handle the grind damage of that silly rocket launcher, you're going to be laughing. Now, if you can't, you could throw some GBE down at that rocket launcher to take it out as your tanks move up the right-hand side. As you can see, you get a ridiculous amount of GBE from all of those boxes. So you can't take it with you. You might as well use it and enjoy it. Now, for final placement, if you flare up to roughly where my tanks are there after all the defenses are gone, they're going to stop. They will be in range of the mortar, but most importantly, that boom cannon, not in range. So you don't even have to worry about it. And then you can just throw critters everywhere and things will fall apart, and you will take the win. And more importantly, the loot. Moving on to Stage 3. Stage 3 is a super long run. There is a boom cannon that I took out, but like, look how slowly these tanks are going, even with 4 times speed. I had to do something to kind of shorten that crazy walk. Now, assuming you've taken out the boom cannon, it'll be nice and safe when you come up and start beating up on the mortar, and your tanks should naturally just kind of go along the very top there. Once they do get into range of the cannon and the sniper tower, throw a shock. You can hit them both and let your tanks kind of take those out. Now, here is where things kind of split up. I let my tanks drift south towards the 2 sniper towers because the incredibly low level sniper tower, I'm going to assume it's a level 1 because it's just like pieces of wood. It looks like a treehouse I had when I was 6 years old. Anyways, I let them drift down because that really low sniper tower would be in range. But if you're not too worried about it, or you just want to blow it up with GBE, as long as you flare your tanks up right to where I dropped them right there, throw one shock down, you can get both mortars and the cannon, and the tanks will take care of the rest from there. If you've got lower level shocks, you might have to throw a couple extras, but once you get the mortars down, you don't want to go after the cannon because you can actually outrange the cannon. Just let your tanks clear all the boxes away from around the HQ, and then once all the boxes are gone, flare yourself right up into the very tip-top corner. And of course, if you've got a bunch of tanks and they are spreading out like freaking crazy, you may have to take out the cannon, but hopefully if you've got a whole bunch of tanks that are all going freaking crazy, they can take out the tank and take out the cannon, and you don't really have to worry about it impacting the speed of your attack or anything like that. Okay, Stage 4, we're going right up the middle. There is a pretty beefy shock launcher on the right-hand side. It's got 14,000 hit points, so, you know, it's big enough. I figured instead better to use the GBE that we do have to drop a couple barrages down on the boom mines. Now, I know I took out the sniper tower. That wasn't the goal. The goal is to take out the boom mines. So even if you've got really low level barrage, a level 1 barrage will trigger a boom mine, so it doesn't matter. So once you clear out those mines, if you really want to take out that sniper tower, it really does actually make the attack a lot easier, but is not by any means an absolute must. However, the 2 sniper towers that are more over to the, I guess, left, of where my flare is right now, actually, those 2 sniper towers do have to go because they will have range on your tanks while you're sitting right here in the I'ma kill the HQ spot. Also, the rocket launchers here, I'm taking them out with GBE just because I didn't land any medics. You're gonna want to have medics to survive those stupid things because they put out a severe amount of damage, and you're gonna need those medics to keep keep your tank standing. I actually lost a tank on this level because I wasn't paying 100% attention to it, and though between the sniper towers and the rocket launchers, it was enough to take down a max level tank. So definitely make sure you have medics, because if you've got medics, they will counter the damage from the rocket launchers. You'll have blown up the sniper towers already, and all of your tanks will live through and, I guess, live happily ever after with their tank babies. Anyways, moving on to stage 5. I decided to go up along the top, and there are 2 shock launchers, each of which have 17,000 hit points, so they're nothing to scoff at. The good news is, by taking out those with barrage and artillery, you can take out all the buildings around them and get a bunch of your GBE back. Same thing goes, obviously, for the 2 extra boom cannons that you still need to blow up. And I realize it is a lot of GBE right up front. The good thing is, on the right hand side, you can farm up a little bit, and then as you go along the top, like my tanks are doing roughly here, you can get even more. So obviously, if you don't have the GBE to pull it off, start with the defenses that you're going to run into first. I would strongly suggest starting off with the 2 shock launchers, just because they will do horrible things to your attack. And then if you really have to, the boom cannon that's up top here, don't blow that one up, because what you can do is throw a shock on that, flare your tanks onto it, let them take it out. But the boom cannon closer to the HQ, you're probably going to have to throw GBE down at it just to clear it out, because it's kind of more entrenched. It's not as easy for your tanks to get to, and it will rip you apart as you try to approach it. Excuse me. Alright, so once you take out the boom cannons, you got the shock launchers down. Honestly, the rest of this attack is a freaking cakewalk. Basically, your tanks are going to come down from the south. As you can see, half of the defenses that were already there are blown up just because of AoE damage from artillery and barrage. Make sure when you're throwing those barrages, you try to maximize the AoE damage that you're going to be doing, so spread them around as many buildings as you possibly can. And honestly, same goes for the barrage. You can kind of lean the barrage to the sides, maybe give it a shot, see if you can do some extra damage to surrounding buildings, especially if you've got an artillery it anyways to finish it off, which you probably will, because, you know, they got a lot of hit points. Anyways, stage 6, such a nice change of pace. So easy. I kind of like dropped my troops, and then I went for a coffee, and then I came back and was like, oh, my troops are still going. No, alright, it's not that easy, I'm not even gonna lie. There is a boom cannon in the, I guess, vicinity of the HQ. I decided to take it out just to be on the safe side, because even though you can go and hug the left-hand side and get around it, I figured I kind of want to spread out so I can take out those defenses. So, and especially because there are so many freaking sniper towers. Like, those sniper towers need to have something done about them. Like, whoa. So, also be really careful of the boom mines on this level. Those boom mines are once again doing a massive whack of damage. So, make sure you throw some critters down, maybe some artillery or barrage if you need to, anything to get rid of the boom mines. The regular mines, not such a big deal, but I actually missed a boom mine here, and you will see what happens to a max level tank right... Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom, there. That max level tank almost got wiped out. Definitely don't want to be hitting that with, you know, a lower level tank. It would do horrible, horrible things. And there are so many of those stupid boom mines all over the joint, you really need to clear them out. The good news is, if you get to the HQ and you're actually on the approach and you get to this point, a single shot can take out the 2 cannons and the sniper tower that are slowly destroying my tank while I ignore it because I don't realize how much peril it is in. Yeah. Anyways, it's okay, we lost 1 tank, we got stage 6 loot. That's a totally fair exchange as far as I'm concerned. Toka Coca, right? So, now we're going to move on to stage 7. Well, I guess it's not really Toka Coca because... Alright, anyways, I'm not going to get into the rules of equivalent exchange. Take down the machine gun, mostly just because it lets your tanks group up and then flare onto that stupid boom cannon and throw a shock down on the sniper towers and the boom cannon, and your tanks will love you for it because they will ruin that boom cannon's day, and then flare everyone back a little bit just because if you've got a lot of tanks, they're going to kind of curl around the boom cannon, dropping some of them into range of the flamethrowers. And obviously, if you flare back like that, it also allows your medics a little bit of extra time just to throw a few more heals down on the tanks before they're thrown back into the fray. Now, once again, with this level, just an absolute mountain of boom mines, and I started throwing artillery into just the miscellaneous buildings. I was targeting really the cannons and the sniper towers because even though they're not necessarily the worst thing for your tanks, they're really, really seriously boosted up and have a whole bunch of hit points, and really I wanted that AoE damage in there just to soften things up a little bit. Now, right here, you'll notice I threw critters onto, like, directly onto the flamethrower. You might have to go back to see the little, like, tap of where I put it. The reason for that is because when it hits the flamethrower, it drops to all sides, or as close to it as possible, and it will take out with one set of critters all of the mines that would take like 2 artillery to take out, or 1 barrage, and you don't want to be wasting your artillery and barrage just taking out mines on this level because of the ridiculous amount of hit points. 240% health bonus on this level. Alright, I'm just throwing it out there. The HQ has over 500,000 hit points. I've taken down op cores with fewer hit points than this Dr. T lab. Anyways, once again, make sure you clear out all the boom mines because, man, they are scary. And hopefully you will be able to let your tanks kind of coast through the remaining defenses. Make sure to toss some stuns on the sniper towers over on the right hand side and distract the cannon as much as possible on the left hand side. And if you do all of that, you should eventually end up pretty much in the same sort of position that I am in here, possibly down a tank or 2, but that's okay as long as you've got the deeps to take out the HQ. And as you can see, just to get to this point, it's taken almost everything these poor tanks have. I got less than a minute, really, of just solid, let's blow up the HQ time. The good news is, with all my lovely tanks, even without the damage statue that I accidentally scrapped the other day, my tanks are able to sit there and my medics are able to withstand the constant well, I can't call it artillery, but it's kind of artillery. It's defensive artillery. It's the rocket launcher attacks. Anyways, my medics are able to out-heal the rocket launcher attacks and keep everything standing. My tanks are able to take everything down, and with mere seconds left to do it in. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.